Caleb, you know this, right? Where he got so ass mad on one other YouTuber that in order to discredit him, he called him a Satanist because of the fucking Lucifer television show. Do you remember that? So like, audience, to show you the level of fucking derangement that I'm like discussing here, okay? Like, imagine if me and Nux were in like the TV review field, right? Like, Nux is a great TV reviewer. He's one of the fucking, he's like, Samsung, Sony, I don't give a fuck. I'm not paid by anybody. I'm the #1 TV reviewer ever. And I was the actual Brandon Honesty.
I would call my channel Linus Dick Tips.
Exactly. To discredit Linus Dick Tips, would I, all right, call out a flaw in his review scheme, right? Like in his technical review. Or would I accuse him of fucking blatant Satanism? If your answer was A, congratulations, you are a normal, functional human being. But for the people that answered B, you're right in this one instance. Because what happened was way back, this one YouTuber stopped the FOMO, literally. Like, I've watched this video, 15 seconds of the fucking video, all right, was used. And in it, he used like the Netflix TV show Lucifer as like a blooming test to show like the difference between an OLED TV and an LED TV, right? Look it up if you have to. I'm not going to explain TV dynamics all of a sudden. But because he used the word Lucifer, the show Lucifer, Quantum TV's like, this guy is just promoting Christian hatred on the platform. Like,
it's not a bad show either. It's not even like... No. It's not even like a Christian. It's not against like Christian identity by any means. It's a very interesting show.
Well, that's what happens when you don't watch the show, but you just have to talk shit about it.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah, good
that's
point.
That's what happens when you take your crazy pills, man.
This is what happens when you speak completely 100% out of your fucking rectum, right? That's exactly the vibe you get out of Quantum TV, because it's like I watched the fucking show too. I watched like an episode of it. I'm like, is this really a Satan loving show? Do they fucking hate Christians on it? And I'm like, no, I didn't get that vibe either. Like, I straight up like when I was like, what is this guy on? And then I
talking at you old shitter.
I love the term you used, accuse them of blatant Satanism.
Blatant Satanism.
Blatant Satanism.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's all that gay liberal atheist agenda again. It's coming in here.
I find it so funny how the #1 Brandon Honesty, when we started looking into his like blog posts, which are fucking unhinged, there was one where he straight up commits like election misinformation. Like that's like a straight strike on YouTube, right? Like, it was so bad that I didn't show it in my video. Like, I blurred it out because I'm like, dude, I'm not taking the fuck. If I get striked for something he fucking wrote, I'm gonna be pissed. So I cut that out. But generally, he basically like said that the election that just happened wasn't like, he just straight up said that it wasn't like real, right? Like, that's pretty much how it went. And he removed it. They all got removed as soon as like everyone started mentioning that, external link policy. All those blog posts one by one got removed. Thankfully, because of the Wayback Machine, you can still read them to your heart's content, and it is some of the wildest shit. Like, you all know what QAnon is, right? Like all that wild conspiratorial shit.
Didn't they think John F. Kennedy was gonna like rise from the grave or some shit and lead them to the promised land?
I don't know if it's John F. Kennedy, but that like lines up with their thinking, I would say.
Yeah, because he's the secret society's president that spoke of the secret societies.
This guy legitimately comes across as like an actual QAnon or like something, you know what I mean? Like, you go on like 4chan or something, right? And it's like you go onto a forum post and like, 9 out of the 10 people are like fucking around, you know what I mean? We're like, yeah, of course the earth is flat, brother. Why wouldn't it be? It's an op done by NASA. And then like Quantum's the one guy that joins in the story. It's like, honey, I just met other people like me. They believe the earth is flat. Do you see it? Look at all these people agreeing. Like, see, even they agree Horizon has too many black people in it. I'm not the only one. Like, that's him, dude. It's fucking wild.
I love that idea that, like, of course the earth is flat, brother. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, that's one of the videos I want to do. So I have a friend who's like really smart, like super talented engineer. Like, he's not like no stretch of the imagination dumb or anything, like former army. And I want to fly him out, and because he believes the earth is actually flat, like unironically believes it, like everything. He believes like the Loch Ness monster is real, like dinosaurs exist in Africa, the entire fucking like spiel,
Let's go.
Like, this is the kind of guy, like, after we're done playing a video game, it's like, I'm gonna go to bed and watch dinosaur videos. I'm like, what kind of dinosaur videos? Like Nat Geo? He's like, no, there's this guy just uploaded a fucking 3-hour documentary about how Mekele Membe is real in like Africa. I'm like, what? Like, and it's all real. Like, this is because this has been happening for a year in our friend circle, right? I thought he was fucking with me at first.
Oh.
And then we actually did get into a debate about the flat Earth. So I'm like, what I'm going to do
I'm
is
so
I'm
happy
get
that
him
someone
out
else
here.
knows a flat earther, because I do too. And he's smart. He's like a computer engineer. He's smart. And he believes
we should fly him out together, both of us, all right? Like, we should have like an intervention. Caleb, you got to find a flat earther in your community. We all got to bring 3 flat earthers together.
Yo, it'll be like Pokemon, except our flat earthers
I'll
are going
fly
to fight.
Quantum out. I'm sure he's a flat earther.
Yeah, it'll be like Pokemon starters.
Go, Quantum!
But like,
It's like flat earthers, doxers, and
because I told them, like, all I have to do is I have to rent a weather balloon, put a fucking camera on it, and just show you the horizon of Earth. It's not an expensive
I hear there's too many black people in Horizon.
There's actually a lot. I was watching one of my favorite TV reviewers, and he confirmed without a shadow of a doubt he was an African American male, and he can tell you that there were too many. But it's literally getting a fucking weather balloon up into the air with a camera and just showing them the fucking horizon of the Earth. And I'm like, is that all it's going to take to convince you? Because I'm so sick and tired of hearing it's a NASA op. You know, I'm like, all right, fuck NASA. Fuck every space agency. Me and you are going to go out and do this, okay? Me and you are going to rent the fucking balloon. We're going to send the camera up into space.
All right, but Muda, did you consider what if it's flat? Like, what
honestly,
what if it's flat?
Dude, I've been listening to this shit for a year now that I kind of actually fucking believe it. Like, I kind of sit down and I'm like, maybe there are fucking water walls. Maybe the UN flag is the goddamn.
Dude, I'm
like,
so happy you're in this rabbit hole. I thought I was the only one. Oh my god!
Like when you talk
did you hear the albatross theory? Did you hear the albatross theory?
That?
It's so good. Okay, so they measured the distance. So the albatross traveled. They migrate around the southern hemisphere every year. Okay, so if they put a tracker on them, and the amount of miles that they actually travel is longer than the southern hemisphere should be. Like, they travel more miles. However, if you look at the actual Earth, like on the flat Earth map, it's because the southern hemisphere is much bigger because it goes around it, because Antarctica surrounds the planet on their map. So they say that the albatross flight is much longer because they fly around a much greater distance.
All right, well, I'm a flat earther then.
Right?
Fuck it. You guys got me.
So they
You
don't
guys
account
got
for
me.
like zigzagging or anything. They think that they just fly like a straight
or
line.
like elevation
Right?
changes.
They don't count for any of that, but this is their proof. This is like, dude, the albatross, guys, it flies like in a straight line around the southern hemisphere.
The albatross theory.
The albatross theory.
Like Alaska, I'm like, wait, if it wasn't for the water walls, would we just like, why hasn't our water fucking drained? Like, what's gone on? Like, why? I just don't understand the people that jump into it. And like, it's the whole thing. Like, you know, when you peek into the abyss, like, you let it consume you.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at right now. Because I'm like, every time I hear about the flat Earth shit, it's like, dude, slowly I'm like, maybe they're not fucking crazy. Who knows?
Did
right?
you hear
like,
the Admiral Byrd theory?
No.
Oh,
What?
dude, they're so good. Okay,
There's
so
a lot
Admiral
of bird theories for one man to know about.
Birds, they can fly. They have knowledge we cannot
I mean, we all know
understand.
pigeons are just surveillance tools by the government. Let's be real.
Obviously, pigeons. That's why they're. Yeah. So Admiral Byrd was someone who I hate that I know this, but Admiral Byrd is someone that made a military station on Antarctica. Okay, and because of this Admiral Byrd and what he did, you're not allowed to travel there because a lot of it is protected because it's military operations and stuff.
Because it ain't real.
No,
Yeah,
because it's real, but
wall.
because it's a big ice wall. They don't want people to see the ice wall, dude, so they prevent
wake
you
up,
from
people.
going to Antarctica.
I always thought it was really interesting because, like, when you shoot guns over a certain, like a long range, there's this thing you have to take into account called the Coriolis effect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally
I
like,
played COD 4, I know.
if you shoot like north to south, there's like bullet drift to the left because of the rotation of the Earth, or if it's like south to north, it's to the right. So it's like it's literally, I didn't even think about that the Earth could be flat for like 90% of my life, and then I've been on the internet for like the last 8 years, and it's just been, there's all these people. Have you guys seen the video of the dude who has the globe and he's holding it and he's like, explain this, and he's got this little guy and he sets it on top and he's like, okay, and then he sets it on the bottom and it falls and he's like, case in point.
Explain
You
it.
like just look up wikipedia.com/gravity.
Gravity's
It's
not
just
real,
a
bro.
theory.
It's a theory.
It's a theory,
called the
don't you
theory
know?
of gravity.
Stop. Well,
It's just
flat
a
Earth is a
theory.
theory too. Like,
There are
what
many
the fuck?
theories.
No, it's in the Bible.
No,
there's a
is it
firmament,
really?
bro.
Is it because? Let me tell you, I've read religious text over this.
So have I.
And there is
So have I.
nowhere in any
Nowhere.
religious text do they
It's
go,
the
yeah,
firmament. It's the firmament. It's up. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The Lutheran. When the Bible was translated in the Lutheran times,
they fucked up the whole flat Earth.
Yeah,
side.
exactly.
I feel like this conversation all like went to its natural destination point.
Well, look what we're talking about.
I know.
It started off with a subject, and now we're thinking like the subject.
Yeah.
We've looked into the abyss, and now we're consumed.
Yeah.
In the next month, we're all gonna be like a fucking issuing copyright strikes and having fucking hot takes all of a sudden.
Dude, this is
This
like
is
the
the
detectives
natural
that
arc.
become criminals, you know, because they they
Yeah.
put their mind in the psyche of the villain.
I've
So
done
they
a good
become
job
criminals.
of avoiding the abyss. I'll say this: two people know.
Oh yeah, you threatened to dox YouTube employees, bro. I don't know.
I've
Not
become
so
the very
different,
thing
you
I
and them.
swore to destroy.
No.